Welcome to the Resilient Gentleman Podcast with your hosts, Douglas Berger and Christopher Payton. This show is all about forging unbreakable men on a path to greatness. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. Douglas Berger, my man Chris Payton, the Resilient Gentleman. Another episode for your enjoyment, hopefully.
Your listening enjoyment. So, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Things are good. So, running a little hot today.
You seemed a little stressed when you walked in.
Yeah, if my face is a little red, that's probably why. It's not just the sun, but yeah, no, but it's all for good reasons. So
Okay.
I got, multiple voicemails I got to return, text messages, emails. I got back-to-back meetings today. I had two before this. I got two immediately after.
Nice.
So it's just a lot of things. So then when everything is already else compact, then anything else just kind of adds to it. So squeezed in a lunch, right? So I was kind of feeling rushed through that too, but it's all for the better, right? Obviously, I'd rather be busy than the opposite.
Of course.
So
Of
if
course.
that demand is on me, that's good. But that's just the perfect time to take a step back and say, hey, slow down.
Yeah.
Don't get too heated. You're okay. But I mean, I run hot naturally. So it's my immediate reaction to elevate,
Sure.
which is something I've learned over the past few years to handle that a little better.
That's good. Yeah, I was worried that if we were live or being recorded as you came in, that we
May or may not
get banned. I don't think the FCC manages podcasts, but it brings up an interesting thing, like how we deal with stress.
Yep. There you go.
And I mean, I'll tell you what, I parked. I wanted to get lunch before the show, and we're taping about 1:30. So I'm like, I'll go to the square, I'll grab some food, and then the only spot I could find on the square was an hour parking.
Oh,
Okay, so we're
inside
gonna
the
be
circle?
here.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm inside the circle. I find that spot, and then I'm like, oh, I've got 10 minutes till we go on, and I need to go move my car before. So now I'm like, grab my backpack, run into the car, and then now the only spot I can find is on the other side of the square.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
to your point,
That's like Murphy's Law, right? So you get here super early, you're way ahead of schedule, and you just got to make one quick adjustment. Then all of a sudden you're 5 minutes late and everybody's like, what a jerk.
yeah. And, we talk about fitness all the time and working out and how that helps us or whatever. I mean, do you have like a mantra or anything that you use to overcome stress?
Actually, that's a very good question. Because naturally, my first response is exercise.
Yeah.
Go work out. But no, you're absolutely right. So meditation,
Okay.
breathing, thinking, let it resonate, sit, and chill with it before you react with it. Just like if somebody makes you upset or mad,
Nice.
of course, you can't do anything about what just happened, but how you react, you can. So if you just take those nice few long, deep breaths or whatever, or try to remove yourself from the situation and then try to have a objective perspective on it later. And I found out with me personally, the longer I wait to respond, the better.
Okay.
Because like I said, I come in hot quick.
Yeah.
And
I think we've both admitted to that.
Yeah.
Like tempers are like our natural, maybe hot-tempered is more our natural inclination and personality.
Yep.
So if you can't work out every time you get angry, so you got to meditate. You're saying that's the
Meditation helps. It also really helps with sleeping.
okay.
And stress. So it's crazy. Like there's so many things with meditation that were instilled in us even when we were kids before we even realized it. Remember the old counting sheep when you to go to sleep?
Yeah, still do it.
That's meditation.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
in a very easy form. Or if you count your breathing, your inhales and exhales and pause in between and all that, that's just a very basic form of meditation.
Okay.
And I do that a lot to sleep, to help me fall asleep, to help close my mind and to move on.
Yeah, we've talked about that and how you use writing stuff down or texting yourself or notepad on your phone and things like that. But all right, so I like the idea of meditation. I'm one that tries to, if I get real hot real quick, like back up. And I mean, I even was teasing, but at the same time, I wanted to remind us that, and it goes for me, it goes for Trent as the studio and the production studio is growing.
Yep.
And the 615 Negotiators growing, Trans World for you is growing like crazy. The stress we feel in our business is something we've prayed for, asked for.
What's the old saying? Be careful what you ask for, you might just get it.
Yeah, and so a lot of times, when you're stressed about being too busy, you're going, wait a second. And then you need to remind yourself that, you know what? Thank you for giving me this business. Thank you for giving me these opportunities to be stressed.
You're absolutely correct. Perspective is everything. If you choose to be happy, you can be. If you choose to be negative or sad, you can be. And you can see either side of it. Just like you were saying to me out there. Hey, man, we were pretty much just praying for all this stuff to happen, and here it is.
That's right.
So there you go. Yeah, and all those things that were stresses today are good stressors. It's just because it's compounded.
Right.
You just got to, let it go and knock it off your task list afterwards. So I have like 5 or 6 things to do right as soon as this is over, but this is good. I'm busy.
But that brings up another question. I like asking questions. What about like this space, this time of podcasting? Do you feel like it's a stress for you or a relief?
Up until today, no. I was like, man, Friday late mornings, this town, like it starts to settle down a little bit on Fridays, and it's almost like they're getting ready for the weekend, and I'm like, hey, yeah, it'd be a great time to record and everything, and then bam, here we go.
So we've talked about this, and we bounced it off Trent today. What do you think about going live instead of like shooting an episode like we are right now? We're recording an episode. What do you think of shooting a live on Fridays before lunch?
I think it's good. I think it's a good idea. And we've been thinking about it. And I think it's going to keep us closer with the content and closer just with the overall timing and the feel of just life in general.
Yeah.
And then even more so than we really want to make an actual physical group that meets every week too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So doing that.
So tell us about that.
So I'm thinking directly after. So we go live on Fridays, 11 a.m. We record up towards of an hour, depending on how that particular show is going to go that day. And then at 12 o'clock, we'll have our men's group meeting.
Nice.
I mean, we'll start right here, so it's super convenient for everybody on the square, maybe Jefferson's or something. We'll just meet there at 12, whoever wants to join us, and then we can
bounce around the square a little bit, Jefferson.
Yeah, we'll definitely share the spread the wealth and try out different places. Yeah, of course. But I think that'll be a good way for us to start the physical engagement, start meeting people face to face, and then.
So when do you want to start that?
I'd say within a couple weeks.
23rd. Okay. So
or next week, right?
Friday
or
the 24th.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Right.
We're airing a week. We're recording a week in advance, so we're guesstimating our dates. But it's the 23rd. This episode's dropping. You're hearing this episode, and tomorrow we're going to go live. So 24th.
Friday the 24th, 11 a.m.
Perfect.
Live. And then
12 o'clock Jefferson's for lunch. Let's do it.
For the men's resilient.
We'll post that on Facebook. We'll set up the
men's
event.
Support group, first physical meeting.
I also launched the Resilient Gentlemen group page, so you can go in and see some of the previous content.
You can actually see it now.
You can actually see it. It is live. It's not hidden from anybody. Talk about another stressor. Facebook and all its rules and policies.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Thank God we got like Trent, with the studio, with all this and then everything else to be promoting, and then just the time engagement it takes. But it's for all good. And then, let's talk a little bit more about stress. Like, what stresses you?
Everything.
And how do you deal with it?
I don't know how I deal with it consistently. Like I don't meditate like that. Like if I get stressed, I think, and if you ask Sabrina, I think she'd say I get stressed about like little things, but it's things that I can't control. That I think is what really is at the core when it's outside of my control, but it's something that I feel like someone else could have control.
Like it shouldn't have happened.
That okay.
Is there like a glaring example?
Our daughter just started driving.
Oh, that's fun.
Especially in Murfreesboro. I've got a joke that everyone in Murfreesboro just likes to touch.
That's right.
But that joke has gone around a little bit. But anyhow, it stresses me out that she's on the road.
Oh, yeah, that would, yeah.
Okay. So, but I feel like there are things about our time, and we talked about time management several weeks ago, but there are things about our time that can eliminate stress. Like I mentioned today on the square, like that was throwing me off because I'm normally not like that. Right. I'm 15 minutes early to everything. This morning.
Me too.
We got to drop Sabrina off on the square, and she was 25 minutes early, and she's like, "Why are we here so early?" And I'm like, "You're not early.
Just in case.
You might be 10 minutes early." And she's like, "I'm 25 minutes." I'm like, "No, you're 10 minutes early because you should be 15 minutes early."
Exactly.
You see how I get stressed out about little things?
Yep.
That's
so
kind
it takes
of
you
how
out
it
of your
goes.
comfort zone, and then once it gets within
because
out
I'm out
of there,
of control.
then it's
like if I
right.
feel like if my daughter Alexis, if she is driving and I can't control the car, I get like that gives me the hard stuff.
Wow.
That
so
gives
you're
me
saying
the racing.
you're a control freak.
Yes.
Damn. All right, we're getting somewhere.
I'll tell you, this new studio, right? It's beautiful. I love it. But the fact that I couldn't run over and touch something on the control board like he had in the old studio, like I feel like I'm out of.
So now we know why you ask all the questions too.
We're learning so much about
Are you sweating
me today.
yet?
Yeah, a little bit. It's getting a little hot in here. We got an AC vent.
So when something stresses you like that, like think about your daughter driving a car right now.
Yeah.
And of course, you're thinking of not only the stresses of for safety, other drivers, everything else. So how do you combat that? Or how do you calm yourself if you don't meditate?
Well, so there's not so much no meditation. It probably is, right?
It's a deep
it's
breath
breathing.
or something, right?
It's really processing. I am so blessed to have a daughter that can drive. I'm so blessed to have a daughter that I feel is responsible to be on the road. So is it meditation? Yeah, it's processing thoughts that are more important than the stressor itself.
Is it like kind of talking to yourself too? Okay, it's going to be okay. If something bad already happened, I probably already know. The fear of the unknown, anxiety. The majority of anxiety a lot of times is
worrying about something
that's 99% chance not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then if something did happen right now and you're stressed about it, you probably would have heard the bad news already.
Sure. Yeah, I guess that's true. I think sometimes, and maybe it's unfair for me to do, but I also carry the stress and the weight that Sabrina may feel about, and Sabrina's got her own stress of that.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times I get worked up, and like I said, it's little stuff, but it's even, just.
So you're projecting it.
I can project it.
Yep.
Or receive projection that's not even there.
Right.
So Sabrina's not asking me to be stressed.
Right. I can feel it. Like if my wife is stressed, I can feel it.
Oh, sure.
And she can 100%. She can feel me adjusting before I'm even there yet.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Are you like a medium or something?" And she is. So be careful.
Well, so here's the thing. So I was listening to a podcast earlier today at the gym, and Cody Sanchez was talking to a gal, and I don't have her name in front of me, but she's very into energy and the energy we give off and stresses and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cody went on to talk about a room having energy or a lack of energy. and she buys a lot of businesses and she remodel. Like she was talking about how this office, she's outgrown the office she's in. So she's going into these office spaces to look for new ones, bigger ones. She walked into one and she went, I mean, it met all the criteria, but she walked in and she just felt this weight.
Wow.
It's not like ghosts, but she's like, asked the realtor right away, like,
What happened here?
what's going on here? And he's like, oh, it's a startup that's like going under. And she was like, yeah, I don't want it.
Wow.
Like, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Because
energy's
the
for real.
energy was distributed into the room.
We actually did when my kids were in town for Easter. We did the grounding thing, where you walk barefoot in the grass. It's supposed to be good for you with the magnetism of the earth and everything.
Yeah.
So that was a fun little family moment. Very simple.
How long did you spend?
Oh, maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had meant to do it more in the past, but just, I mean, come on. When are you going to take off your shoes and walk through the grass? But then you're like, man, just take off your shoes and socks and go walk in the grass. Right? What's it take? 5-10 minutes?
It's amazing. I've heard that for so long.
I mean, it's not like taking a cold shower to where you like feel it
painful.
instantly.
Yeah.
You're just, I guess you could say it calms you a little bit. There's not like this, oh, wow, that's amazing thing. It's probably kind of like eating your vegetables. You don't really feel what it does for you, but it's good for you.
Yeah.
Now, I do highly recommend the cold showers, though.
Do you do that?
Yes, every morning. So you start with a nice hot shower.
Oh.
Open everything up. So all your pores and everything are open up and heated and you clean. And then when you're ready for that shock, you turn it off. And luckily our shower has 2 heads. So this one, the hot goes off. And then this one, as soon as you open it, it's nothing but the cold that's in there. And Tennessee water is pretty cold. It's not Florida water where it comes out at like 70 degrees. It's whatever it is right now. It's probably 50 or something. But you're talking about the eye-popping clarity that you get.
Wow.
I mean, so I start on my face and let it hit my shoulders because it even takes me a little bit to get adjusted because the coldest spot is like on the back of your neck and your shoulders. And within 2 or 3 seconds, I can just feel the brain fog go away from a cold shower. Unbelievable.
And I've walked into a shower that's cold, and I am not a fan of that.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
But when you get
it's
that
a
mental
result
clarity
you're
and you
after.
feel it, yep.
Okay.
So that's a great way to wake up. Don't do that when you're going to bed. You take
Right.
the hot shower or hot bath or sauna or something when you're ready to calm down and to go to sleep. Don't be doing cold showers unless you want to be alerted and awakened.
You can send emails to Douglas at
So that could be a good stress reliever, man. Go do a cold plunge. You'd forget about everything for at least as long as you're in there.
It's interesting. So I'd asked you a little bit about this, and I don't know if you were prepared. You could ask me if you want, but do you keep a scorecard of life?
No, I mean, obviously, yes, because striving to be better and better.
Yeah.
But is there anything documented? Is there anything written down? Is there anything really specific, like on the SMART goals, right?
Yeah.
So, not really.
Okay.
But I do always feel the need to get better and do more and keep pushing and keep pushing. But that might be something worth diving into more, though.
All right. So you don't necessarily have anything written down,
Right.
but you know the stats. Like, you know how many businesses you've owned.
12. So
You know how many years you've been at different places. You know how much money
Yeah,
you've
I'm
made.
I'm
You
definitely a
know-
data guy.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I can definitely
that's-
tell you right now how much money I made last year. I can definitely tell you right now how much I made the year before
so
that.
you keep a scorecard.
I can tell you how much I made in the last
Mentally.
5 years.
Okay, so we found
there
the
we go.
data. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
no, I love data. I actually love data.
Okay.
I think performance is best measured by data.
Sure.
Specific data, like metric that really aligns, that's relevant. So you can definitely have paralysis by analysis
Yeah.
because you can,
Well, isn't that part of the SMART goals?
yeah.
Is relevance or
Yep.
okay?
Yep, that's the R.
So,
So yeah, I definitely keep score.
and I mean, I think to some degree we all kind of do.
You're right.
if you're a high performer or you like thrive on high performance,
Yep.
you almost have to, right?
And-
Because if you do, like the SMART goal, what's the M? Measurable. If you're not measuring your goals,
You can't keep score.
Well, the scorecard is
win.
the measurement of your
Right.
meeting your goals, right? So I mean, I think
But
it's
you gotta measure it against
it's
somebody.
interesting though to me that I don't know if it's your humility or what you were. Nah, I don't keep score. But then all of a sudden we broke it down, and you're like, "The hell, you don't."
What piece of data do you want? Well, I guess
You're
that's a scoreboard.
tracking. You're tracking. What's your body fat percentage?
Right.
What is it today?
11.5.
Okay, you're a walking scoreboard. I mean, so yeah, all right.
okay.
So we do keep score.
That's funny.
And I think that there's something.
Now I
to
know why
that.
you want to talk about this.
There's something to that though, from the perspective of performance. So.
And it is. I do measure myself, I guess, a lot.
So,
and that's
so would a baseball player. So would a football player.
right.
I mean,
and that's probably that makes sense because I've been a very competitive athlete.
Okay.
So it all aligns, and then it just goes the same thing with work.
yeah,
Professionalism,
I think that's,
starting
that's
business,
pretty typical though of a high performer or someone who desires
Yep.
results.
So I
in their
have
life.
a regional meeting with Transworld coming up at the end of the month.
Okay. How much data do you need for that?
I was like, man, where am I going to be when I get there? I mean, it's not even going to be maybe 9 or 10 months
Yeah.
into being a franchise owner. So, but it would be nice to go in there less than a year, already qualified for the President's Club.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't keep score at all.
So talk to me about the President's Club. Where do you have to be? What's the metrics or the bar for President's Club?
$100,000 commission.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Gross commissions.
Okay.
So that's
Obviously.
what you
Well,
bring in.
sure.
Right.
So, all right. So you keep score. We've determined that. How can we use that information to better ourselves? Does
So-
it convert back to the SMART goal?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so going back to the dealership life.
Yeah.
So when I used to travel across country, try to train sales teams and F&I managers in the power sports business, guess what? One of the first things that we would implement for a sales team?
Scoreboard.
Scoreboard.
You have to,
And where is your scoreboard in the dealership?
where everyone can see it.
Exactly. Namely, the most important people who are the components of the scoreboard, the salespeople,
Yeah.
because scoreboards create natural competition.
There's no question.
And then guess what goes up? Production.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see their name at the bottom of a list. I don't care what list it is.
So what is the motivator there?
Pride, likely.
Fear.
But
Fear of being on the bottom.
Interesting.
What are
Okay.
you what's gonna motivate you more? Being afraid on the bottom or being on the top?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have fear of losing the top spot.
Correct.
Yeah.
However,
Well,
that might be the difference between you and me. You might be more motivated to be the top guy. Of course, that's a motivation too, but being fear-based motivated, right, can really get you
yeah.
going.
We both, I'm going to kind of pivot a little bit. Still kind of scoreboard related, but
Yeah, I
I
kind of
wanted
like
to
the scorecard and lightning moment I just had. I don't keep score at
just
all.
realize so much about you. So there's this topic going around social media that one of the more important factors in a man's life is what his wife looks like. Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
Okay. And that it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you walk in the room with a good-looking wife, they don't care how much money you have. They don't care how much power you have. But the wife is an indication how she carries herself, how she looks, how she acts. And I'm not talking about,
Dialed up like
I'm talking about she represents her husband
Like
well
implants
as well.
and-
Have you ever thought that to yourself?
there's definitely a stigma out there for certain guys that can pull certain quality of women, or
Okay.
at least aesthetically,
Do you judge anyone else when they walk in the room by the?
by their spouse.
Yeah.
No.
You sure? You don't keep a score. Let's keep digging.
I try not to judge at all,
Okay.
and especially not until I meet somebody.
That's good. It's a good
So
quality to
looks
have.
aren't everything,
Sure.
but yeah, I definitely judge physically.
Okay.
I
So
mean, come
why
on,
say
you
no
guys-
though? Why
because-
would we even? Why?
Because
you
I
go
don't.
down this path. I don't judge anyone by the looks of them.
I want to say,
Of course I do.
I don't. I definitely wouldn't judge a friendship or something over that until I get to know somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm not
I'm
going
not
to
asking
say
you
someone's
that.
a good or bad person.
No,
but
no, I'm not, and I'm not suggesting in any way that someone's character is defined by their spouse.
right.
But I think it's also the same way for a woman that walks in the room and her husband's
A stud or not.
well built and takes care of himself or carries himself well. I think the same thing's true.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know how much of the judgment would be, but I mean, like, would I change the relationship with
No,
the
no,
one part
no.
because the other person, or you just mean more of
First impression.
first impressions? I mean, first impressions are important, but
Now, do you judge somebody by the car they pull up in?
no, of course,
Okay.
not in a good or bad way. You're just, all right. I wonder what the journey's been like to get there,
Interesting.
whatever it is, or I wonder what their choices are, because you learned a long time ago the richest people out there, you wouldn't even tell them
True.
walking on the street. They're extremely modest. They're not driving the expensive cars. You know, they're not wearing the fancy clothes. You know, they don't have the bling hanging off of them or anything like that. They're legit millionaires because they're conservative, humble, and they save, and they don't tell everybody.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes I do. I'm like, so I wonder if he or she's driving that because they choose to, and I wonder if it's
Yeah.
paid off.
Well, I had
Or-
a conversation with a guy who's in the real estate. I think he's a loan officer, broker, and he was saying how realtors different than loan officers in that realtors have to almost maintain a high level appearance because
Correct.
they're pulling up to their clients, they're pulling up to houses, and people think because of the scorecard that the car means
Right. So then you got to talk about or think about the certain demographic that you're involved with. If you're buying and sell or helping people buy and sell houses that are $5 million,
yeah.
you probably should be pulling up an Escalade extended or whatever, because that's your clientele. They're going to expect that.
Okay.
But now if you're middle America, average house, $500,000-$600,000 a house, if you have like a, you know, just a nicer SUV or something so you can drive them around in it. But I don't even think realtors really do that anymore, right? I don't think they get
I
in the
think-
cars
and
as often.
maybe
They
it-
just meet them there.
I think typically that's the way it goes, and I would almost guarantee since COVID it's changed.
Yeah. I there's definitely a perception you have to be aware of the possibility of winning or losing clients because of what you drive. If you're a realtor,
What
And-
about a business broker?
I think it would lend itself a little different depending on the industry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do I have thoughts sometimes? Hey, I'm pulling up to help these people sell their business in a Corvette. And they're like, oh, man, does this guy make too much money? Is he going to take advantage of me?
Sure.
You know, or are they like, all right, you know, he drives a vet, so maybe he's pretty
Dude can
good at
sell
what he
some-
does.
Sell some businesses. I want him to. I certainly don't want him to pull up, and I question whether or not he can actually handle this job.
Or pushing the car into the parking spot. But
I mean, there's something to be
Correct.
said there for the first impressions of that, right?
Yep. And I guess that's the unknown. You don't know what the person is really thinking until after you get to know them. And then you just hope that you have the opportunity to win them over to get to know
Sure.
them. And then they can find out the real you and then decide if they want to do business with you or not.
All right, so that brings up a whole nother issue with today's society, right?
Sure.
The judgment of what we
Correct.
roll up in, the house we live in,
Yep.
the spouse we have, all that stuff is now this weight that we carry that how are we supposed to impress anyone.
Compete.
Does it matter
No.
if you pull up in a Corvette or a Jeep or a 1997 Toyota Tercel?
I mean, you pulled up in a 97 like Firebird or something. That's a different story. But
Right.
no, but honestly, should it matter? No. Does it matter?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because decision makers aren't perfect.
Right.
They're not necessarily going to wait to find out the real you before deciding if they want to move forward one way or another. Yeah, is judgmental's for real, actually. For real. I try to limit mine to a minimum. I try not to judge. I really do.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to.
Okay. So let's circle back to the scoreboard, though. Do you compare your scoreboard to someone else's?
Of course. Why else would I keep score?
So that now we've got the root issue of why it's so hard in today's world to be a gentleman. Is
Yeah.
I'm so concerned with what my neighbor's doing, what my buddy's doing, what they're, and it's in my head. What am I doing? How am I performing? And what's my competition doing? And what's my,
That's true.
and so how do we,
That resonates to what you said out there before we started too, was when did life get from free to heavy? Or what was the exact quote that you said?
well, yeah, and I don't know that it was ever light, but
Right.
I think everything feels heavy right now.
Oh man, when I was a kid, everything was light. I didn't have
Well,
a
sure.
worry in the world.
Well, did your grandfather feel like the weight of the world was always on him at 50 years old?
I'm sure he did. He had 18 months of live action in World War II.
Right. I had 18 months of live action in Call of Duty a few years back, right? No, but so that, I mean,
Yeah.
but is today's weight different than the weight of ore?
Yes and no.
What, is that what that was?
Yeah. Well, that weight, oh man, could you imagine the PTSD? And then totally untreated. And they just had to be stoic and deal with it. But now, I mean, we still have the same problems, just different causes.
Are they?
But a lot of it's the same too. I mean, to be successful, to raise the family, right?
Right.
And everything that entails with that makes sense. And be judgmental of everybody and keep score.
So, I mean, yeah, it's how do we overcome that? I mean, or are we supposed to?
It's so instilled in us. How could you really? That's probably a whole
That
topic in
starts-
itself.
It starts in Little League, right?
Yep. Oh, everything's a competition. That's why. Isn't that why they started with the participation trophies?
So sweet. And I mean, so you're in pursuit of a President's Award. If they handed you the participation trophy, oh, Douglas, we're so appreciative of you hanging
thanks
out
for
with us.
buying in.
Right.
Here's your participation trophy.
So, I mean, and I guess that's another whole topic. We could do a show on what's happening with, us handing out participation trophies and
Yeah.
what that creates. Like, oh, where's mine?
Right.
know?
You just get
Do
it
you
for
feel
showing
like
up.
you just deserve
Yeah.
the car?
No. I mean, you definitely deserve something for showing up.
Do you?
I mean, depending on what you're doing, right? I mean,
I
if-
guess. I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I
say-
mean, I
say
think
it's
a
like a-
handshake.
well, say it's our meeting after the podcast, right? Our first men's group meeting. The first step is just showing up.
Yeah.
Right,
What
so
are you going to
in-
give
in
them
that-
for showing up?
High five. There we go.
And you'll get judged. Dang it,
On the
man.
high five. Or how firm your handshake is, or did
Yeah,
you look
right.
in the direct eyes when you did the handshake? And
It's interesting, man.
yeah, that's a deep conversation because life is all competition and judgment, especially in America. When the competing with the Joneses next door. Right?
Now I'm creating a whole new level of stress. No, but I mean, it is wild to think that there is so much on our shoulders, and this is men and women. are dealing with this, right? Are they carrying the right purse? Are they wearing the right shoes? Are they whatever? I mean, people are judging all the time.
There's a reason why a woman's closet's bigger than ours.
Yeah.
Because they have more shoes, they have more clothes, they have purses.
So, are we supposed to overcome it? I asked that question earlier. Like, are you supposed to overcome the judgmental feeling? Like that, not just that you are judging others.
Yeah, but about being judged.
You're judging me every time I pull up, and now we're friends. You know I'm.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I judge to a detriment. I guess it's a dive into curiosity of the journey and their choices. But the older I've gotten, I definitely mostly don't care what people think about me. All right, there's probably going to still be some. I do care if somebody I care about, how they care about me,
Sure.
right, or feel about me, or something like that. Sure, but I try to eliminate the judgment on both sides as much as possible, and don't let it consume me with that. I mean, sure, is competition and keeping score, all that, a motivator? Absolutely, but is it something that I'm always constantly thinking of? No. Is it a detriment? Is it a stressor? I mean, I think pressures of success, sure.
Yeah.
So I guess elements of it. I guess you could drill it down, and then. But I wouldn't stress. I don't stress about how I compare my lifestyle and what I drive and what I wear. But I would definitely compare my performance in my job.
Okay. That's fair.
Because then you have relevant comparisons. Because hey, here it is, we're doing the same thing, right? Level playing field, so to speak. Good measuring stick.
Yeah, I guess there's also, what about perception versus reality?
Perception is not reality.
Right.
But then on the other hand, perception is reality because it's their reality of how they perceive you. So, and there's, what's it called? Three sides of the truth or whatever.
Sure.
So it's
Your truth, their truth, and the truth.
the actual truth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're living inside those realms daily.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how someone perceives you, and then how many times have you really thought of somebody one way, and then total curveball later, like the person's, whoa, that's not how I saw that coming, or
Sure.
definitely not what I was thinking how that person
Some of my
was.
best friends are that way.
Totally different than what you thought in
Oh,
the
yeah.
beginning.
I'm not going to tell the audience what I thought of you when I first met you. So as we carry on,
Like, who the hell is this guy? And he's really asking me to be a podcast. All right.
so let's do this. We're going to bring this one, wrap this one, put a little pretty bow on it. This one's airing on the 24th.
23rd?
23rd. We're going live on the 24th. We're airing on the 23rd.
Yep.
Going live on the 24th.
And
Lunch
then-
immediately following at 12 o'clock.
12 p.m. Friday, February 24th. The first men's group in person, Resilient Gentlemen, get together.
What if it's just you and I?
We'll have a great time.
So you can join us tomorrow. You're hearing this on the 23rd. We're going to be at Jefferson's at 12 o'clock on the 24th. You'll have just finished listening to us live
Yeah.
from the Spread the Positive studio,
Right upstairs from Jefferson's.
right upstairs from Jefferson's. And so also join the Facebook group. It is now public, available to be seen. It is a private group. It's no longer hidden. So
Might have
it's
to do some
private.
digging.
It's private. It's private in that if you want to share something or you want to post something, it's not going out to the world.
Right.
It's staying inside
Just
the
that
group.
group.
But it's now not hidden from
You can
the
always
world.
direct message too if it needs something that needs to be confidential, right?
Sure. Yeah. If you need somebody to talk to, you and I have both already offered that. But I'm
Absolutely.
always open to chatting through anything that's going on.
100%.
All right. This episode drops on the 23rd. We got John Seal
Ooh.
was last week.
Yeah.
John Seal, the ride guy, was last week. Great episode. Talk through his
Nice pictures with
life
you
story.
and him, by the way, in the old
The
Scout
Scout
cab.
Guide.
You guys
You
look
jealous
good.
you didn't get in that?
I was impressive on the photography skills.
You're so judgmental. So
that's a very high quality book. I really did like
It's
the photography, and your spread looks good. You guys,
I appreciate that. It turned out really nice. We had a great location to shoot. We got to shoot in front of his Yukon, and I'm finding him another one right now, so he's growing.
There you go.
Dude, there's some really cool stuff going on in the Murfreesboro, Rutherford County area.
In the
Spread
borough.
the positive, growing like crazy.
Yeah. New
If you
digs.
want to join the 1200 Club,
do it.
do it. I believe it's $100 a month still. He hasn't changed the price. I don't know why.
Worth every penny.
You get time in the studio here. You get to shoot content. You get to shoot like shorts if you want to do like reels or TikToks or whatever, social media posts, a commercial, whatever you want to do. He sets all that
You
stuff
can
up
rub
and cuts
shoulders
it
with
up.
Trent.
Yes.
Maybe this guy too, superhero.
Well, I'm only here when we're shooting. He doesn't invite me in for anything else. So
That's not
join the
judgmental.
1200 Club. You can contact Trent Denson at spreadthepositive.com.
Yep.
He's on Facebook.
Yeah,
He's on
everywhere.
Instagram. He's on TikTok. You can contact him all over the place. 24th, lunch, Jefferson's. We've said it a few times.
Let's go.
We'll see you guys
Love you guys.
next week.
See you
Thanks,
next time.
everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Resilient Gentleman podcast. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, and of course, please leave us a 5-star review. We will see you on the next one.